Okay, students. Now, in previous class, we are discussing the concept of functions and formulas in MS Excel. Now, we are going to move forward. In previous class, we have discussed the first function, that is sum function. Now, we are moving forward and we are going to talk about other functions like average, min, max, etc. I have already explained and I have already shown how we can use average function and min function, max function, etc. So you can see here the average function returns the average. Average means arithmetic mean of the arguments. The arguments can be a range of cell, simply numbers, or numbers along with the cell references. Using the worksheet shown in the figure 13.42, let us calculate the average of marks obtained by Manju. To find the average of numbers in cell C6 colon D6, type average C6 comma D6, or you can alternatively type is equals to average C6 colon D6 and press enter key. You can find the average of two or more range of cell by using average C6 colon D6 comma C7 colon D7. So in this way, you can find the average of these two students' numbers. So the formula will find average of marks of the defined range. Let us see some more examples that are given here. So student, you can see here the first thing which is given here is average 1 comma 2. So here we are passing simply the values. So value 1 plus 2, that means 1 plus 2, that is 3 divided by 2. Now the average will be 1.5. In second case, we are writing average is equals to average bracket में A1 colon A4. So at that time, the values of cell A1 to A4 got added and it will be divided by 4 because there are 4 cells that constitutes this range A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 and whole divided by 4. Again, if we write average bracket 2 comma 3 and then true. So in previous example, student, I have already told you that true is counted as 1. ट्रू को हम 1 मानते हैं and false को 0. So it will be 2 plus 3 plus 1 divided by 3, that means 6 by 3, result is 2. Or if we write average bracket A1 comma B2 comma C3, so it will return the average of values present in A1, B2 and C3. That means the value of A1, B2 and C3 got added and it will be divided by, student कितने से divide करेंगे? It will be divided by, reply immediately.
3.
Yes, very good. It will be divided by 3 to get the average because there are only 3 cells that are participating in average calculation. So student, I am going to demonstrate it with an example. So for that I am opening Excel, and in Excel I am writing some marks of student, like suppose I am writing percentage of student. Here I am taking roll numbers and then name, then UT1 half yearly, UT2 and annual. So suppose that we are taking few student 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the roll numbers. Mohan, Sohan, Rakesh, Suresh and Sumit. Now in UT2 some percentage are given, like, and in half yearly examination for UT2 and in annual examination so student we have I have created this table just to demonstrate you with the help of this example how we can calculate average. So is it visible to you all?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
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 Now, okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, suppose we want to find the average percentage scored by Mohan. So, student, there are two ways. Please note of it. Please have a look on it. If we want to have average of Mohan, average marks scored by Mohan, or average percentage scored by Mohan. So first way of doing is we can place equal to sign here and then we can write average in bracket. We need to pass the cell references. So I'm clicking on the very first cell in this range and then dragging the mouse over the last cell and then pressing the bracket sign again. If we press enter key, so you can see the average marks or average percentage of Mohan is 84.25. So student, this is a way by which we can have average. Another way of doing is we can simply click on this down arrowhead under auto sum feature. There is a feature average given. We can just click on it. It will the average function will automatically insert it. Now we need to select the range of cell and press enter key. You can see the average is calculated, and once the average is calculated, student, we can drag it to the remaining cell to get the remaining students average. So here I am writing average percentage. So like that we have calculated the average percentage of the students. Any confusion, students? Please ask. If there is any problem, you can feel free to ask.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Now then we are
Sir,
yes, please.
sir, could you repeat these methods again?
Okay. Now you can see there are two way of doing this. You can either write in full, like you can write is equals to average, then in bracket you need to pass the path like E5 to H5. So you may also write here E5 colon H5 bracket close and then press enter key. The average will be calculated. Or another way of doing is you can simply select this cell, go to the auto sum feature and then select the second option which is given here average and then pass the range of cell like you can write E6 colon H6. So here you need to write E6 colon H6, the average will be calculated. So either you can write the function or you can select it from the auto sum button which is present here. It will list all the we can say most usable or frequently usable functions. So you can select it from here also. Now is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the next function is count function. Yes.
सर इसके ऑर्डर्स कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है सर जैसे E6 to H6 या फिर H6 to E6 कुछ भी लिख सकते हैं ना सर
नो प्रॉब्लम एट ऑल आप किसी भी ऑर्डर में लिखो इट विल गिव यू द राइट रिजल्ट फॉर एग्जांपल आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू अबाउट you can also pass instead of giving the average function and with range you can also pass individual cell references too. For example जैसे देखो अगर हम केवल यहाँ लिख दें is equals to average and then in bracket 5 comma 2 comma 9 so it will give us 5.333 as a result. Alternatively, if we are writing is equals to average, bracket में 9, 2, 5, we are having the same value, but order is uh, somewhat changed. So in both of the cases, we are getting the same value. So similarly, if we are writing is equals to average, and then in bracket, if we are selecting the range from H7 to E7, तो अगर ऐसे हम सेलेक्ट करेंगे तो it will automatically give us E7 to H7. अगर हम ये लिखना चाहते हैं तो अगर हमने लिखा H7 colon E7 and then in bracket and press enter key, we are getting the same value. Is it clear, student? But whenever we write H7 to E7, it will automatically get converted into E7 to H7. कि जैसे देखो यहाँ पे हमने क्या लिखा था H7 to E7 लिखा था, लेकिन it will be converted into E7 to H7 automatically and we are getting the same result. So there is no problem at all. You can write it in any order, but the cell range must be in accordance with the calculation. That means the cell range must be right. Excel automatically recognize it and it will convert according to Excel's presentation. जैसे अभी यहाँ देखा E7 to H7 हो गया है automatically. So you do not need to bother about. You can write it either in forward order or in backward order. Now, is there any confusion, students, or shall we start next topic? Please reply me immediately so that we can
Yes.
start count function. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very
Yes,
good.
sir.
Now, the next function is count function. Student, count function is used to count the number of occurrence of legal values in a range of cells. So this function counts the number of numeric entries, formula, and date entries in a given range of cells. Let us enter some data in a worksheet and understand the practical use of this function. So type in different type of data values in a cell A4 to Z4. Now click on the cell C6, type the formula as shown in the following table and observe the change. So suppose we are writing count A4 G4, so it will count and return the result as the number of entries in those cells. For example, if suppose we are having this this table, so यहाँ पे I'm writing something like 1 2, then I'm leaving one row blank and then X Y and then 15.9. So I'm taking few different kinds of values, students, and I'm moving this cell to the next cell. इसको यहाँ से यहाँ move कर दे रहा हूँ. Now, student, I'm making it as a border table and centrally aligned it. Now I'm selecting these range of cell, clicking on the auto sum button and then selecting count numbers option. So now you can see if we are writing count numbers, so it will be counted and it will be returned as 3. Why 3? Because student यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो there are only 1, 2 and 3 numbers. It is not counting the characters, it is not counting the blank cells. Clear? तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो कि हमारे पास इतने सेल थे, लेकिन ये जो 3 सेल हैं, these are having either the text value or it is not containing anything, so at that time it will not be counted and the rest of value, the rest of numeric value will be counted and it is returned.
सर अगर 2x लिखा हुआ सर वो काउंट होगा?
क्या लिखा रहेगा?
सर 2x 3x या फिर और भी सर?
Repeat it again. 2x 3x मतलब कहाँ पे? यहाँ पे 2x यहाँ रख दूं 2x.
Yes, sir.
Is this you are asking? So if you are writing 2x, so you can automatically see it is 2. Why? Because whenever you are writing 2x, so at that time this is a text value. देखो कभी भी अगर किसी भी नंबर के साथ आप कोई ऐसी चीज एसोसिएट कर दोगे जो नॉन न्यूमेरिक है तो दैट वुड बी ट्रीटेड एज टेक्सटुअल वैल्यू. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आप लिख रहे हो 5 तो 5 इज एन इंटीजर वैल्यू. जैसे मैं आपको यहाँ पे दिखाता हूँ if you are writing 5 5 is an integer value. अब देख सकते हो यहाँ पे 3 आ रहा है. अगर आप लिख दोगे a5 तो this is what, this is a character value. अगर आप लिख दोगे 5a again it is a character value. Even if you are writing 5 plus 10 तो 5 plus 10 तो 5 is a legal value, 10 is a legal value, but here we are using operator plus. So at that time we are getting कि it is a character value. जो प्लस ऑपरेटर यहाँ पे लगाया है, it is not working like an operator, it is making it as a string or as a character. अगर हम instead of writing 5 plus 10 if we write is equals to 5 plus 10 तो at that time it will produce 15 and eventually we got 3 as a result. क्लियर है अब कि अगर हम कोई भी चीज अगर नॉन न्यूमेरिक हम लगा देते हैं अदर देन इक्वल्स टू सिंबल so that will be treated as character value and character value will not be counted here. Any confusion?
No,
students?
sir. No, sir.
Okay, good then. तो देखो वही तरीका है यहाँ पे is equals to count हम यूज करेंगे तो either we can write is equals to count and then in bracket we can pass the range or alternatively we can select it by using auto sum button. Now the next function is max function. So student, max function as the name suggests, it is used to find the largest value among a set of value in a given range of cell. That is also given in your book. The max function returns the largest value among the set of values in a given range of cell. This function only considers numeric entries and logical values as its argument. The numeric entries I think you already know, and logical values. So logical values I think you all are aware, like true, false, etc. So it will only work with those data. It cannot work on string or date type of value. If there are no valid argument within the max function, it will return value 0. So student, make this line important because it can be asked in examination. Okay student, first thing I am going to make it clear for unit test 2 the portion is MS Word and MS PowerPoint complete lesson. MS Word and MS PowerPoint complete lesson is the portion of your unit test 2 examination. Is it clear student? So the questions are going to come from these 2 lessons. So be prepared for that. Excel is not going to come in unit test 2 but it is going to be in final or annual examination. तो ये भी आप लोग नोट कर लीजिएगा. So now student, this line is very important. Suppose in examination in true false question ये आ सकता है कि if there is no valid argument in max function then what is the value that will be returned by max. तो दे देगा 0 1 whatever. So at that time you have to go with 0. कि by default it will return 0 if there is no valid argument within a given range of cell. For example, click on the cell F4 and type max B4 colon E4 and press the enter key. The maximum value will be calculated and displayed. So student, जैसे मैं यहाँ पे अगर आप इसको डिस्प्ले करूं कि एवरेज के बाद हम ये चाहते हैं कि मैक्सिमम जो बच्चा है वो किस मतलब कितना परसेंटेज अपने पूरे चारों एग्जाम में मैक्सिमम परसेंटेज कितना उसने गेट किया तो उसको कैलकुलेट करने के लिए वी कैन राइट इज इक्वल्स टू मैक्स एंड देन इन ब्रैकेट हम ये रेंज ऑफ सेल यहाँ पे सेलेक्ट कर लेंगे एंड देन ब्रैकेट क्लोज एंड प्रेस एंटर की. In this case, you can see student 96 is the maximum percentage scored by Mohan in all these 4 exams and that's why it is displayed here. So this is the first way of writing max function. Alternatively, we can go by the this option and select the max function, and in that case again we need to select the range of cell, and it will be calculated and it will be returned. So here in this case you can get 80. So it is the maximum percentage scored by Sohan, and if we drag it to the range of cell, so at that time we are going to get the maximum percentage scored by the different student. Any confusion, students?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
sir.
Sir, please repeat the question again.
प्लीज रिपीट द पोर्शन. अच्छा, मैं अब नहीं रिपीट करूंगा, ठीक है. आई एम गोइंग टू मेक अवेलेबल दिस recording on YouTube. Please go and watch there. Now next thing is today function. So student, today function, it is used to display the current date. If you want to display the current date, you just need to type is equals to today in the cell and press the enter key. The today function will display the current date in the selected cell. For example, if we open Excel and we write is equals to today, and sorry, is equals to today, bracket open and close, so it will represent today's date. तो आज की डेट क्या है? 19/12/2020. तो स्टूडेंट, जो हमारे MS Excel है उसमें यही फॉर्मेट आता है, क्योंकि दिस इज आल्सो रिप्रेजेंटेड ऑन माय टास्क बार 2. आप देख सकते हो MMDDYYYY, that means month first, then date and then year. ओके, तो स्टूडेंट ये आप फंक्शन क्लियर है कि हम अगर आज की डेट डिस्प्ले करना चाहते हैं तो we just need to write is equals to today. And the biggest benefit of using it, suppose that we have taken the very first cell of this worksheet, and then please don't draw anything. Don't draw anything on computer. Please remove it immediately, otherwise I have to take strict action against you. So suppose in the very first cell of this table I am writing is equals to today, so the today's date will be displayed on the screen. Now the biggest benefit of having this kind of value is if suppose I am opening the sheet tomorrow, so at that time I am going to get tomorrow's date. तो इस दिन स्टूडेंट हम इसे ओपन करेंगे, ये टुडे फंक्शन ऑटोमेटिकली एग्जीक्यूट होगा और उस दिन की डेट यहाँ पे डिस्प्ले होगी. तो ये एक तरीके से आपको एज एन इंडिकेटर भी काम करेगा कि ये आपको आपकी डेट डिस्प्ले करता रहेगा. नाउ स्टूडेंट, मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, इफ यू सी, यहाँ पे कुछ और चीजें दी गई हैं which can also be useful with today function. In the box which you can see on your screen, similarly you can insert the current date, month, year in a cell. So if you want to assess the current date, that means day, month or year, so at that time you can write is equals to month and then in bracket today. So month in bracket today will return to the month part of the complete date. Year bracket today will return the year part of the today's date, and day will return day part of the today's date. For example, student, if we are writing, जैसे इसी को मैं edit करता हूँ, is equals to, now I'm writing month, then in bracket, and again bracket close at the end, and if we press enter key, so it is not displaying the right value, so it is not working well. So let it be, because see student, I am writing the same thing which is given in your book, but it will returning 12/1/1900. Okay, so it is giving erroneous output So we can say कि these function, so if month is not working, so as day will also not work. Okay, so here you can see day is also not working. So in the newer version of MS Excel, we can see these functions are not working. So let it be. It might work with the older version of MS Excel. Now moving forward, the next function, and this function is very important for examination and for any kind of logical test which you want to conduct on the range of values, if function. So this is a conditional function. It returns one value if a condition you specify evaluate to true, and another value if the condition evaluates to false. तो अगर हम ये चाहते हैं, अगर इस तरीके से कोई कंडीशन लगाना कि if we give a condition and on the basis of condition, on the truthness of condition, कि if condition is true, then one set of value will be returned or another set of value will be returned. We use if function. So you can see its syntax is if, then in bracket logical test, comma value if true, comma value if false. So student, one by one we are going to talk about it. The logical test, so logical test is an expression which return a logical value, and logical value can be either true or it can be false. And value if true, the value returned by the function if the logical test result in a true value, and value if false, that means the value returned by the function if the logical test result a false value. For example, if we are writing if a1 is greater than 100, then comma 200, comma 250, comma 200. So at that time, if the value of a1 is greater than 100, so at that time 250 will be returned, otherwise 200 will be returned. तो अगर जो वैल्यू है a1 सेल की अगर वो 100 से कम होगी तो उस केस में आपको रिटर्न में मिलेगा 200, अदरवाइज आपको रिटर्न में मिलेगा 250. So this means that if the value of cell A1 is greater than 100, the function will return 250, else it will return 200. Yes,
सर
Shivansh,
yes, sir.
please.
सर अगर मान लिया सर 250 जगह मैंने सर 2 लिख दिया और 200 जगह फॉल्स लिख दिया, तब कैसा फंक्शन काम करेगा?
एकदम काम करेगा. आप कुछ भी लिख दो, यहाँ पे आप ABCD भी लिख दोगे तो जो भी आप उस सीक्वेंस में दोगे वही वहां पे रिटर्न होगा. जैसा आप यहाँ नीचे भी देख सकते हो, इट इज रिटर्न कि if A3 is less than or equals to 100, तो उस केस में हम क्या लिख रहे हैं? within the range, comma over the range. यहाँ पे देखिए एक कॉमा यहाँ पे मिसिंग है. आफ्टर 100 देयर मस्ट बी अ कॉमा सिंबल. ठीक है, तो यू हैव टू करेक्ट इट इन योर नोटबुक. यहाँ पे वहां पे आप बुक में अपने करेक्ट कर लीजिएगा. A3 is less than or equals to 100, कॉमा within the range, कॉमा over the range. तो इस केस में क्या होगा? अगर वैल्यू 100 से कम होगी तो ये रिटर्न करेगा विद इन द रेंज, और अगर वैल्यू 100 से अधिक होगी तो एट दैट टाइम इट विल रिटर्न ओवर द रेंज. So no matter, you can pass any kind of value, either it can be character value or it can be numeric value with it. So I'm going to demonstrate with an example, student. Please have a look on it. So suppose that we want to we are having a list of values. Suppose that we are a shop and we want to give discount to the person who is visiting to our shop, and we want to give discount 10% if the total price of goods purchased by a particular person is more than 5,000. That means we want to give 10% discount if the total price is more than 5,000. So here I am writing total price and here the value discount is given. I'm just making the question here, student. We are going to give 15% discount to those person who are having the total price more than 10,000, and 0% discount for the other person. Clear? So if the total price is more than 5,000 और 5,000 प्लस जिसको हम कह लें, तो हमें 10,000 रुपए डिस्काउंट देना है, 10,000 सॉरी 15% डिस्काउंट देना है. अदरवाइज अगर 10,000 प्लस है तो एट दैट टाइम वी विल गिव 15% डिस्काउंट एंड 0% डिस्काउंट ऑन द रिमेनिंग्स. तो चलो अभी हम वन बाय वन करते हैं. तो सपोज करो कि कोई पर्सन हमारे शॉप में आया, तो उसने कोई गुड्स परचेज किया, तो यहाँ दे दिया गुड्स प्राइस, और यहाँ पे हमने दे दिया टोटल, या हमने दे दिया क्वांटिटी. तो क्वांटिटी को हमने QTY से डिमॉन्स्ट्रेट कर दिया. तो गुड्स प्राइस एंड क्वांटिटी, एंड यहाँ पे हमने दे दिया टोटल प्राइस, और यहाँ हमने दे दिया डिस्काउंट, एंड यहाँ पे हमने लास्ट में रखा है नेट अमाउंट. तो सपोज करो स्टूडेंट कि कोई पर्सन आया, उसने हमसे कोई भी एक आइटम 20 की क्वांटिटी में परचेज किया, और आइटम की जो प्राइस थी वो हमारी थी 2,500 रुपीज. तो अब हमें टोटल प्राइस गेट करना है. तो टोटल प्राइस निकालने के लिए वी जस्ट नीड टू राइट इज इक्वल्स टू गुड्स प्राइस मल्टीप्लाई बाय क्वांटिटी. तो टोटल प्राइस विल बी कैलकुलेटेड. नाउ वी नीड टू फाइंड द डिस्काउंट. तो स्टूडेंट यहाँ पे हमें क्या करना है कि हमें डिस्काउंट देना है, कि हम डिस्काउंट देंगे 50,000, जो ये वैल्यू आ गई है. अब यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो कि इट इज मोर देन 10,000. तो अभी मान लो हम इसको भूल जाते हैं, इस कंडीशन को हम अभी भूल जाते हैं. इसको मैं यहाँ से कट कर दे रहा हूं या डिलीट कर दे रहा हूं. अब हमें करना ये है कि हमें केवल 10% पे काम करना है. इफ द वैल्यू इज ग्रेटर देन 5,000, तो वी नीड टू कैलकुलेट द 10% ऑफ द टोटल प्राइस. So at that time, student, we need to write is equals to if in bracket. We need to select this cell. तो हमने select कर दिया I-17, और यहाँ दे दिया is greater than 5,000.
सर स्क्रीन नहीं दिख रही है.
स्क्रीन नहीं दिख रही है?
यस सर.
मतलब रेस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट बताइए, क्योंकि मैंने दो डिवाइस में लॉगिन किया
करंट
हुआ है,
वाली
और
स्क्रीन
दूसरे
नहीं दिख
डिवाइस
रही.
में मुझे कौन सी स्क्रीन नहीं दिख
सर
रही है?
करंट वाली, सर पहले की दिख रही.
क्या बात कर रहे हो? अभी मैं माउस मूव कर रहा हूँ, मेरी
सर अभी
स्क्रीन पे
दिख रहा है. अभी
मैं दो डिवाइस में लॉगिन करके बैठा हूँ. ठीक है, इट माइट बी कि आपके जो कंप्यूटर है उसमें नेटवर्क
सर
प्रॉब्लम होगी, अदरवाइज इट इज वर्किंग एब्सोल्युटली फाइन इन माय डिवाइस. तो देखिए, इफ I-17 is greater than or equals to 5,000, हमने यहाँ पे दिया, then we place comma sign, and in that case कि if the condition evaluate to true, तो at that time we need to calculate 10% of it. So at that time I am writing I-17 multiply
Sir.
by 10 divided by 100. Yes.
सर मान लिया सर मैंने सर किसी गुड्स की प्राइस सर 11,000 है सर.
पहले let me complete this example and then you can ask.
Okay.
Okay, Sivans, let me complete this example and then you may ask. Alternatively, we can write here 0. तो स्टूडेंट देखो, यहाँ पे हमने क्या किया है कि हमने यहाँ पे कंडीशन चेक की कि I-17 is greater than 5,000, so at that time it will return I-17 multiplied by 10 divided by 100, and if it is not within this range, so at that time it will return 0. And finally, to calculate the net amount, I'm placing the formula total price minus discount. So here the total price calculated by the system is 50,000, and the person got 5,000 discount. Now net amount would be 45,000 only. Now suppose another case, if the person is buying goods at the rate 200 rupees only, so at that time you can see the total price is 4,000, and at that time we are not giving any discount. That means discount is 0. He have to pay the entire money. Now Shivans, what you want to ask, please go on.
हो गया सर। मैं पूछना चाह रहा सर, अगर आप 15% डिस्काउंट रखते हैं, अगर 10,000 से ऊपर का अगर कोई गुड्स है सर, और मान लिया सर कि अगर 11,000 का टोटल गुड्स है सर, वो 10% अप्लाई करेगा 5,000 से ज्यादा होने पे, या फिर 15% अप्लाई करेगा 10,000 ज्यादा?
ठीक है, अभी मैं जब फार्मूला लगा रहा हूँ उसको देखिएगा और समझने की कोशिश कीजिएगा, ठीक है। तो अब मैं यहाँ पे रख रहा हूँ 15% डिस्काउंट वी वांट टू गिव on the values more than 10,000. So at that time, student, we have to place multiple if else statement in this program. So for that, what we need to do, now see this. So here, instead of giving this condition, we need to change this condition. तो देखो स्टूडेंट, यहाँ पे तीन चीजें हमें पास करनी होती हैं. फर्स्ट वी नीड टू गिव कंडीशन, देन द वैल्यू इफ ट्रू, एंड देन द वैल्यू इफ फॉल्स. सो एट दैट टाइम वी नीड टू गो विथ द मैक्सिमम वैल्यू फर्स्ट. तो जो मैक्सिमम वैल्यू टेस्ट है वो हम करेंगे. तो एट दैट टाइम I17 इज ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल्स टू, वी नीड टू गिव 10,000. तो पहले कंडीशन हम देंगे I17 इज ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल्स टू 10,000. तो उस केस में सबसे पहले फर्स्ट इस क्वामा के बाद, आफ्टर दिस क्वामा साइन, तो यहां पे हम देंगे I17 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 15 डिवाइडेड बाय 100. So this will be returned in that case if the value is greater than 10,000. Now, for the rest of value, we need to give another if statement. So at that time, I am writing another if in the else part, and then the condition would be I17 is greater than or equals to 5,000, comma, I17 multiply by 10 divide by 100, comma 0, and then one more bracket closed, enter key. So student, अब यहाँ पे देखो मैंने जो कंडीशन लगाई है ये आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं, ये हमारे फॉर्मूला बार में भी है, and you can also see this here also. If you are using mobile phone, you can take the screenshot of it for the future reference. Now, अब अगर मैं गुड्स की प्राइस 200 रखा हूं तो एट दैट टाइम यू आर सेइंग कि वी आर नॉट गेटिंग एनी डिस्काउंट. नाउ इफ द गुड प्राइस इज 225 रुपीस, again the value is 4,500 only, we are not getting any discount. But when the good price is 250, so at that time you can see total price now becomes 5,000, and at that time we are getting 500 discount. That is, the net amount is 4,500. How much percentage discount we are getting? Student, please reply immediately.
5%. 10%.
5% or 10%?
10%.
Good. Now if okay, now if the price is 400, again the total price becomes 8,000, discount is 800. Again we are getting 10% discount. But if we are writing 500, so at that time you can see the total price now becomes 10,000, and in that case we are getting 15% as a discount. Shivansh, is it clear to you?
Yes.
See how we can frame? So you can just have a screenshot of it and create your own situation and frame your own if statement. Okay? अपना खुद से कोई सिचुएशन लो, वहां पे कैलकुलेशन करो, आप इसको और बड़े लेवल पे लेके जा सकते हो. इफ द डिस्काउंट, इफ जो वैल्यू है वो 20,000 प्लस हो तो 20% डिस्काउंट देंगे. तो 3 लेवल्स के आप यहाँ पे इफ स्टेटमेंट यूज करो एंड ट्राई टू मेक this kind of sheet. So I think student this is clear to you all. ठीक है? In next class I will explain more examples of if statement. So that's all for today. Again I'm repeating, the portion for unit test examination is the MS Word chapters. There are 3 chapters in MS Word 1, 2 and 3, and 2 chapters of PowerPoint. That means PowerPoint 2010 1 and PowerPoint 2010 2. Now, is it clear to you all, student?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so that's all for today's class. I'm ending the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.